This is where your breakfast bananas begin, but our story today starts with what usually gets left behind. Every harvest, tons of banana plant stems are cut down and treated as useless waste. But in this factory, those soggy stems are the starting point for something completely different.
They're turned into soft, absorbent sanitary pads designed to keep people safe and comfortable every month.
Today, we'll follow the entire journey of how banana plant waste becomes this essential, everyday product. Sanitary pads are a basic hygiene product, but most people never think about what they're made of.
Traditional pads are often made with plastics and synthetic fibers, but these are made largely from banana plant fiber.
Banana farms generate huge amounts of stem waste, which normally rots or is burned, releasing greenhouse gases. Turning that waste into sanitary pads reduces pollution and creates a valuable product. In this video, you'll see how banana stems arrive, how they're stripped into fiber, cleaned and pulped, then built into pads and packed. We'll break it down into 3 big steps: extracting the fiber, turning it into soft absorbent material, and assembling the final pad.
Along the way, you'll also see how quality is checked, how hygiene is maintained, and how each pad is sealed for safety.
Because when you're making a product that touches the human body, every detail matters. The secret is using the natural absorbency of plant fibers, carefully processed to perform just like conventional products. Our journey starts back where the waste first arrives, at the raw material receiving area. Every day, trucks bring in loads of freshly cut banana stems from nearby farms. Instead of being left to rot in the field, these stems are treated here as a valuable raw material. First, they're visually inspected and sorted, with badly damaged or moldy sections removed. The moisture content is checked, because too much water in the stem makes fiber extraction harder. Each batch is labeled with its origin and date, so quality can be traced back to the farm if needed. Inside these thick stems is a network of fibers, a natural material that can absorb and hold liquid. The stems are processed as soon as possible, before they dry out or begin to decompose. From here, the first task is to clean and cut them down to a size the fiber extraction machines can handle. Powerful rotating blades slice the stems into manageable sections, ready for fiber separation. High-pressure water jets wash away mud, insects, and loose outer material. What's left are clean, moist pieces of banana stem, heading for the heart of the process, fiber extraction. This part of the factory is dedicated to peeling away everything except the useful fiber. Decorticator machines use a spinning drum with blunt blades to scrape off the soft pulp from the stem. Pulp and juice are separated out, while the tougher fiber strands continue down the line. These raw banana fibers are strong, but they still need a lot of cleaning and softening. Human eyes still play a role here, catching any remaining pieces of stem that the machines missed. A second pass through a finer machine removes more of the sticky plant tissue. More washing reduces sap, starch, and color, making the fibers cleaner and more neutral. Gentle rollers stretch and align the fibers, preparing them for later pulping and fluffing. Now separated from the stem, the fibers are collected in bins and moved to the next stage. From a wet, messy process, the material now enters a cleaner, more controlled environment. In just a few steps, a heavy, useless stem has become a light, fibrous base for an absorbent product. Here, banana fibers are washed, disinfected, and broken down into a fluff similar to wood pulp. The fibers are loaded into pulping tanks with water and mild, approved chemicals for cleaning. Mechanical paddles gently break the fibers into smaller pieces and remove remaining impurities. Used water is drained away and sent to a treatment system so it doesn't pollute local rivers. Fresh water is added for an extra rinse, making the pulp cleaner and more hygienic. Technicians check the pulp to be sure no strong plant odor or color remains. The pulp is spread in a thin layer on a mesh belt, where it starts to look more like a sheet of fiber. Press rollers squeeze out water, reducing moisture before the drying stage. The sheet then passes through a controlled hot air dryer, lowering moisture to a safe level. What emerges is a dry, clean sheet of banana fiber pulp, ready to be turned into absorbent fluff. A fluffing machine shreds the sheet and uses air to separate it into soft, individual fibers.
Now the material feels surprisingly like cotton wool, but it still came from a banana stem.
This fluff is the core absorbent layer inside the sanitary pads we're about to see assembled. To make a pad, this plant-based fluff is sandwiched between several protective layers.
The top layer, which touches the skin, is a soft, breathable, non-woven fabric, often from plant-based or low-plastic materials.
A thin distribution layer helps spread liquid evenly through the absorbent core. Precise feeders drop the banana fiber fluff in the exact shape and thickness required. Compression rollers gently press the fluff, giving it structure without crushing its absorbency. Underneath, a leak-proof but breathable backsheet prevents liquid from soaking through to clothing. All three main layers form a continuous sandwich that will later be cut into individual pads. Thin lines of skin-safe adhesive help lock the layers in place without making the pads stiff. Embossing uses heat and pressure to create patterns that channel liquid into the core. These grooves are more than decoration. They control where moisture goes inside the pad.
On the back, separate adhesive strips are added so the pad can stay securely in place when used.
A protective release paper covers these sticky areas, to be peeled off only when the pad is used. At this stage, the pad is technically complete, but it's still part of one long, continuous sheet. Cameras monitor the web in real time, checking that every layer is correctly placed. Software flags any misaligned or incomplete pads long before they're cut and packed. Now the continuous web is ready to be sliced into individual pads with precise shapes. Rotary die cutters stamp out each pad, giving it a contoured shape that fits the body. Sharp dies ensure clean edges without fraying the fabric or tearing the core. The pads move out in neat rows, each now an individual product. For winged pads, extra side flaps are cut and shaped to fold around underwear for extra security. The wings are gently pre-folded so they're easier and more comfortable to use. A soft air blast removes any stray fibers or dust from the cutting process. Some factories also use additional safe sterilization methods to keep the pads hygienic. Random pads are pulled from the line to be tested for microbial levels in the laboratory. At full speed, this line can produce thousands of pads every hour. Now, each pad needs its own protective wrapper before it can be boxed and shipped. A thin protective film, often partially plant-based or recyclable, is printed and fed into the wrappers. The pad is folded, wrapped, and heat-sealed in one smooth motion, keeping it clean until use. Behind the scenes, a dedicated lab checks that every batch meets strict safety and performance standards. Pads are weighed to confirm that the right amount of banana fiber fluff is inside each one. Pads are weighed to confirm that the right amount of banana fiber fluff is inside each one. Standard tests measure how much liquid the pad can hold and how quickly it absorbs. Pads are also cut open to check that the core is evenly spread and not clumped in one area. Microbiological tests look for unwanted bacteria or fungi that could cause irritation or infection. Hand sanitizing and controlled access points reduce the risk of contamination. With quality approved, it's time to group pads into packs that can go to stores and health programs. Counting machines automatically portion pads into small packs, often 10 or more per box. Boxes are sealed and printed with ingredient lists, usage instructions, and sustainability information. Finished products are stacked on pallets and stored briefly before heading out to distributors, clinics, and shops.
From this single factory, Eco-friendly pads reach urban supermarkets and remote communities alike. Each pack represents less waste left in fields and more people with access to safe menstrual hygiene.
The next time you see an eco-friendly sanitary pad on a shelf, you'll know the journey it made. From wasted banana stem to trusted protection. Transforming agricultural waste into essential products is one way factories are turning worldwide waste into worldwide solutions. If you'd like to see more factories that do this, consider subscribing for more stories from behind the machines.